What does a healthy relationship look like? Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Christine Loveridge and I'm a relationship, dating and personal development coach. And today we're going to be talking about what a healthy relationship actually looks like. So the first sign of a healthy relationship is good communication. I've seen this so much in my life and with my clients. Now, firstly, I want to get into the fact that communication isn't just talking and expressing your feelings. That's only a part of it. You also need to learn how to listen to your partner, because what I see a lot, and this is something that I teach a lot as well, is that you have to really hear and understand what your partner is saying, especially if it's something really, really important. Make sure that you put your phone down, you turn off the TV when your partner comes and wants to talk to you about something serious, especially if it's something serious. But, you want to do this all the time as well. You want to, when your partner is talking to you, you want to, stop what you are doing and listen to what they're saying. And if you feel like you're not being heard or understood, tell your partner, say, I would really like it if you would listen to what I'm having to say here. Sometimes you just need to train people to do that because it's not a natural thing to do. Because a lot of the time we're living on autopilot. We're looking at our phones, watching Netflix. You're not really paying attention to what's going around us. We have all this other sort of stimuli all around us that we actually forget to just stop and really focus and give our full attention and our full presence to our partners. So that's something that I teach. You need to, it's not just with your partner either. Like, this goes to every relationship that you have. So if you have children, really stop and listen to them as well. Give them your full attention, and also your friends as well. If they've got something troubling them, give them your full attention. It's just, I guess it's kind of like common decency as well. But it's something that we've forgotten, I think, in this age of technology where everything is sort of like instantaneous. Facebook notifications, YouTube videos, TikTok, TV, Netflix, instant gratification kind of thing. But what it really takes to stop and listen to someone can kind of be a bit dragging, can be a bit boring, but it's something that you need to do if you want to maintain the bond with your partner. And when you're listening, it's important that you are relaying back some of the information that your partner is telling you. So if they're telling you about the day they've had at work, start repeating some of it back to them. Obviously, don't parrot it back to them, but it's sort of like, let's say their boss annoyed them. You go, so your boss really annoyed you. Why was that? Just keep on asking more questions about what they're talking about. Like, how did you feel then? Or what happened next? That kind of thing. Or what did so-and-so say about it? Did they see what happened? Asking lots of good quality questions so that they can really fully get it out of their system. Now, obviously, there are different ways to communicate with different kinds of people. Like, some people really like to tell it in a story format, whereas some other people just really like to hear the advice of other people. So if you're a man, you probably prefer, I'm not saying that all men prefer this, but predominantly you probably prefer to hear opinions of what you should do and solutions to your problem. Whereas someone that's more feminine and the females of the world, like I said, not all of them, but most of the time, they prefer to actually talk about it. They prefer to talk about it in a story format, fully get out their feelings, because that's how they kind of communicate. Women communicate via their emotions, and they love to talk about it so they can get it out of their system. Whereas someone who's more masculine or male, like a man, or someone who identifies with being masculine, much prefers solutions and opinions on what they should do. They like pragmatic things to do to solve the issue. Whereas if you're female and feminine, you just prefer to get it out of your system by talking about it. And if you know your partner really well, then act accordingly. If you've got if you've got a boyfriend or a husband or someone that's masculine, offer them solutions and your opinions when they come to you with their troubles. Or someone who identifies as being feminine, ask your partner questions about, just keep on asking them more questions about the problem so they can get it out of their system, so they can relay it to you in a story format and get out all of their feelings, because that's their preferred way of getting it out. But so if you're unsure of how to communicate with your partner, when they come to you with a problem, just ask them this simple question. Ask them, would you like my opinion on this, or would you like me to just simply listen? And if you ask that question, they will tell you what they prefer. They'll be like, no, it's okay, can you just listen to what I have to say? Or they might say, actually, no, yeah, I would like your opinion. What do you think I should do? And then you can kind of get the idea of where they're kind of at. So make sure when you're listening, you ask quality questions. Now, when it comes to actually talking to your partner and for them talking to you or them talking to you, make sure that they know it's okay for them to fully express how they feel, and you as well, express how you feel. Don't bottle things up. Don't bottle resentment, because that's something that I've seen a lot. People just hide so much resentment towards their partners because they haven't expressed it to them. They hate the fact that their partner leaves the washing up in the sink bowl, or leaves their washing up all over the place, or whatever. So let's take that for an example. And they just build up resentment and more resentment because they just keep on seeing the dishes pile up and they have to do it. But they haven't even said to their partner, it really annoys me when you just leave your dishes on the side. Can you please put them in the sink, or can you put them in the dishwasher? And then, you fully expressed it. But the thing is that we expect people to know what we want them to do. But the truth is, most of the time, people don't know what to do. So you need to tell them how you want things to go, how you want things to run, so you don't hate them, so you don't dislike them. Nothing is more worse and more of a, well, I wouldn't say it's the biggest killer of relationships, but one of the biggest killers of relationships is bottled up resentment, and they haven't fully expressed how they felt. So make sure that you don't let your partner do anything that annoys you. And if they do something that annoys you, tell them. And really tell them how you are feeling and what's annoying you and what you think they should do in order to make the relationship better. Now, there may be times when you're with someone, if you're playing the field and you're dating, there could be times when you run into people that are just really, really bad communicators, that just don't know how to express their feelings. They won't let out how they feel, no matter how much you probe and try to get them to express themselves. So obviously that's the kind of person that you don't want to be with. That's the kind of person you want to avoid like the plague. Someone who can't fully express themselves and tell you what's going on and tell you how they're feeling and tell you what's on their mind and what you've done wrong, potentially. Okay, so make sure that you have that communication. Don't bottle up resentment, and make sure that you give your partner your full attention and presence. And that's what healthy relationships look like. They pay attention to one another. They stop what they are doing when one has a problem or one really wants to talk to them. They give them their full presence and attention, and they ask good quality questions and give advice when it's needed. And that's one of the huge things that makes a healthy relationship work, and what a healthy relationship looks like. So that was quite a long point, but that was a really, really important one. This is also quite an important point, but it's not going to be as long as that point. But secondly, your happiness depends on you. A lot of people go into relationships expecting that their partner is going to be the end of all their woes and their troubles. People go into relationships thinking that this external person is going to come and make their life work. Because the truth is, no one is going to make you more happier than you. Is that my mindset has changed a lot over the years. I used to be someone that was very, very sad, very depressed, had a lot of mental health issues. But over the years, through personal development, I've had a better mindset, and I now know how to control my own emotions, to control my own happiness, to control my own, just the way that I see things. So it doesn't really matter who I'm with. I still feel secure inside of me. I'm not relying on them to make me happy and to change things for me and to make things better. Because the truth is, they probably won't. They're a whole different person who's got flaws and issues of their own. So everyone's got problems, no matter who you're with, right? So you need to make sure that you resolved all of your problems internally and to have like a better outlook on the world. Because if you've got a really bad attitude and a bad outlook, no matter what external things come your way, you're still going to be sad. It's like what you see with some celebrities. They have all this money, they have like the best models, they date the best models in the world, but they're still unhappy. They still drink a lot and all that kind of stuff and take drugs, and And it's like they've got everything. They have everything a person could possibly want, but yet they're still miserable. And it's because they haven't made the internal shift to happiness. So make sure that you understand that your happiness relies on you. And in a healthy relationship, both people know that they can do the inner work to make themselves happy. And you see it when people have arguments with each other. It could be just over the tiniest little thing, and then all of a sudden it just flares up, all this rage and anger and resentment towards each other. And it's because they haven't worked on their internal sort of, engineering, shall we say. They're always expecting their partner to be perfect, to be amazing, and to always make them happy, but that just doesn't work out in real life. So you'll see with a healthy relationship, a happy relationship, and a relationship that really, really works, is that the two people won't argue that much. And the reason why they don't argue that much is because that the little things don't annoy them. Whereas in other relationships where things are a bit toxic and not healthy, even just the smallest things can make a huge argument because both are dependent on each other for their own happiness. So the fourth thing is that they still date each other like they did at the beginning of the relationship. The way that you got your partner is the way that you keep your partner. And you see it with healthy, loving relationships. These people still go on dates with each other. They still dress up for each other. They still do the things they did, 10 years ago when they were first dating each other. They still have that, perhaps like that one night a week what is just for them. Because what usually tends to happen is when you have finished dating, shall we say, the dating stages are finished of your courtship and you're in a relationship, that's when things start to dwindle because you're not still doing the same things that you did at the beginning of the relationship. And basically at the beginning of the relationship, you were hugging each other, you were really close, you're holding hands, you were going to all these different places, exploring different, scenarios, whatever, going to different restaurants and all this kind of thing. And then what happens is you get stuck in a routine once you get together and you're in a relationship. And that kind of makes things stale and boring and repetitive. And what you want to do is you want to make sure that you keep on dating and courting your partner, because that's what keeps the magic alive. That's what keeps the romance alive long term. Just because you've bagged your girlfriend or boyfriend doesn't mean that that's where the work stops. You still have to keep on dating. You still have to maintain that level of love. If you don't, then one partner will start falling out of love with the other, because you need to keep that romance alive and that magic alive. And that's how you do it. You keep on doing it by doing the same stuff you did when you were on your first or second, third, fourth, fifth date. You need to keep on doing those same things. Now, the last point I want to get into is kind of like to do with the first point I made about communication, which is don't go to bed mad at each other. I've seen this a lot, and I've heard it over the years from couples that have stayed together a long time. And what they do is they don't go to bed with anger and resentment still inside of their hearts. They work it out before they go to bed, and they don't avoid any tough issues. So let's say you have to get up for work really, really early, and you think, well, I can't just sit here and argue with my partner all night about this issue. I have to get up early in the morning for work. No, you need to do it. You need to stay up with your partner. What's more important, your sleep or your relationship with your wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever it is? Of course, it's your relationship that's most important than how much sleep you get. You're going to sleep, for a long time at some point anyway, a very long time at some point. So try and get to the grit of what's going on and try and work it out. And I know it's hard because sometimes it just feels so much easier to just turn over and go to sleep. And sometimes it just feels so much easier to just ignore it and just to let your partner be angry, or to let yourself be angry, because it drains your energy when you're having an argument with your partner or whatever it is, because it's such a difficult conversation, especially if it's about a difficult topic as well. And you just know you're going to be at each other's throats for a little while. So obviously it's a hard thing to do, but best things in life are difficult roads to get to, usually. If it's worthwhile, it's usually going to be, if the end result is worthwhile, it's probably going to be a hard journey. So you need to really, really just force yourself to try and resolve the issue. And I know it's easy to just, turn a blind eye, to just ignore it or save it for another day. But what's going to happen is it's just going to build that resentment up. It's just going to become a bigger and bigger and bigger problem if you don't address it. So make sure that you address the issue. If something happened that day, like, I don't know, you forgot to do something, your partner's mad at you, or they did something and you're mad at them, whatever it is, make sure that you resolved it before you go to sleep, even if it means you stay up the whole entire night. And that's what people in healthy relationships do. They resolve their issues before they go to bed. Please please subscribe, and if you would like to get in touch with me personally, then head over to www.christineloveridge.com/shop and you can get some coaching or mentoring from me. I'll talk to you guys very soon. Goodbye.